Good morning. It is Thursday morning? January 22nd. Can you hear me? Yes. Did I hit the record button? Yes. How is it going? How's it going out there in internet land? Now, we know how it's going for some. We know that some of you are watching later. And to those people, right off the bat, I want to say thank you. It's a weird thing, the live streaming, when no one's chatting. I mean, it's basically me carrying a show. And I don't really have any college or street life experience in running a show. Um, my initial thought for the live stream was, hey, I see all the time where people are uncomfortable with their real estate agents and they don't want to have they don't want to hire someone they don't like. Like they want to hire somebody they like personally. Now, is this the right platform to show off who you are as a person? Well, I don't know. At least you have this is the let me get the statistic. This is the 53rd consecutive live stream, and all live streams are an hour. So you have 53 hours to watch of me and know whether or not you want to use me as your agent. Okay? Now, are there other people in the world that are agents that podcast? Absolutely. Or do live streams? Absolutely. I mean, you say, well, how do you have time to do a live stream? Shouldn't you be, running around like crazy, selling houses and working with buyers? Yes, probably should. Probably should. But I just think it's so important. One of the things that's been on my mind lately is the world as it is versus how you'd like it to be. And in the real estate business, there's no question that there's the world as it is and the world how I would like it to be. Okay. I would like to have a place where I can work honestly with buyers and sellers. Here's like on the buyer side, here's the things about this house that seem to make it a good deal. Here's the things about this house that's questionable, and I shouldn't deal with. So, for instance, we have a house that went up for sale in Florissant. I have a buyer looking in Florissant. The house seems perfect. The buyer is a transplant, so he moved here and is living in an apartment right now. His wife is living somewhere else. They need to get a home, and they need to get a home quickly. This particular home, they want to sell it, and then they want a couple of months to go look for a new house. Which you would think, hey, great, couple of months but not for our buyers. They need to get something like within the next month. And so I can simply say, hey, this doesn't make any sense for you. And I don't have to worry about getting fired. I don't have to worry about angering anyone. This is the world that I want to work in. This is the world that I want. On the seller side, I want to be able to go to a house, look it over, and say, hey, when they ask, how much do you think this house is going to sell for? How much do you think we should list it for? I'd like to be able to talk about a strategy and not have to worry about 15 different things. A pricing strategy that makes sense. I'd like to work with a seller that is not full of themselves to the point where they don't see, that other people may not find their house to be, the most perfect house in the world. And I'd like to do that day after day. I'd like to work with real estate agents that pick up the phone if there's an issue, timely in their responses, always looking out to try and do the best for their buyer or seller. I'd like to work with those people. I don't really particularly want anything else. Like, that's what I want. Now, why isn't it happening for me? Maybe that's not the world as it is. Maybe that's not the world as it is. Maybe people want things that I don't provide or that I don't lie about. Maybe that's the way it is. Maybe no one knows who I am, and therefore no one knows about my services. Maybe my advertising is terrible. I don't know. But to me, I see YouTube, I see streaming as a tremendous opportunity to show people who you are before they even meet you, which isn't that what we always want? I was just reading an article about there's a new franchise model ancillary to excuse me, ancillary to real estate, where it's a tech platform. And basically what it does is it says, well, your air filter needs to be replaced in your HVAC. Your furnace is 20 years old, you might want to consider replacing it. And then it puts your name at the top as a real estate agent. So 20 years later, here these people see your name and they might use you. I hope it works out for them. I'm not going to buy a franchise for something ancillary to real estate. It's not that I don't want that ability to stay in contact with my clients. It's that I don't, based on my experiences in the past couple of years, doing the best job you can possibly do for a client isn't going to necessarily be rewarded by them thinking of you in the future. And you say, well, that's not very nice. No, that's not the world I want to live in either, but that seems to be the world as it is. So you bend over backwards for somebody once, and that doesn't mean that they'll remember it down the road. So maybe you shouldn't do it. I don't know. These are the things that are on my mind. Oh my gosh, I need to fix something. Need to fix one thing. So, yeah, world as it is, world as I would like it to be. I'll never forget, I was reading Reddit. And I like Reddit enough. I mean, I don't always know that. I mean, you read something and it's somebody else's perception of what their reality is. And so this woman wrote on there that she didn't like her agent. And after they bought the house, they looked up the agent and they spied on him on Facebook or something. And they had a Confederate flag in their front yard. And this was just totally offensive and not good. And if they would have known that, they never would have used the agent in the first place. And I don't know. So somebody tried to get me into a big old discussion the other day, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I don't remember if it was on. I don't remember if it was on the vaccine or politics or something, but I'm not doing it. So I didn't. I don't know if they. I mean, my main job is to help home buyers and home sellers buy a house. It's not anything else. In my story about Reddit, I explained that the woman was upset that she saw this about this agent and would never have used that person had she known. That lady made it about something other than buying and selling houses. Right or wrong, the world is big enough for people to have many different opinions about many different things. So I'm not too shaken up by it. But I feel like what I can do is present. Here's who I am. Now, having been in this space now since July, I think it's fair to say I have constant fears about any number of things. One, I read articles and I post relevant real estate news. Maybe some of those people that originally write the news don't want me to produce the news. They don't want me to opine on their stuff. I don't know why that would be in today's world, because if you can generate clicks, that's where you want to be. And if I can bring my audience to a particular article and get more clicks for them, that would be a positive thing, but maybe they don't think that way. let me compare it to this. In the 1980s and early 90s, the local television would, like for hockey, for the Blues, would maybe televise 7 games for the entire season. And it was thought that if you televised the games, then no one would go to them. And the main driver of revenue at that time was ticket sales. And so even the Cardinals in St. Louis were not on. They were not on TV. They were on radio, but they were not on TV the whole season. Again, because the main driver was ticket sales. Now, I don't think that's true anymore. I think the main driver is the network contracts. But maybe, the internet people think the same way, and it's actually gotten over time. It's actually gotten to where everything's more behind a paywall, and if that's better for the internet in general, okay. I mean, my use of the internet is different than it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I'd get up and I would read the news online, and I'd go about my day. I never really thought, was the news fake or real, or, are there government players influencing things? I never thought about that kind of stuff. And I don't know, like the decline of news, the industry, at that point in time didn't seem likely. But then somehow with like Facebook and Twitter, and somehow it drove out the local news. One thing on the Michael Brown thing, which was a terrible, anybody that gets shot, killed, okay, terrible. I don't wish for people to be dead. But watching the national news debate, or the national news take over the Michael Brown story from St. Louis, was fascinating to watch. A real eye opener, and something I won't ever forget. My thing was, why was the national media able to overtake the local media in reporting? And it's simply because there's very few resources devoted to local reporting anymore, and all the resources are with the corporations, the mega national corporations. And so, okay, but we've kind of lost that ability to be local, and that's okay, I guess. But to see the collapse of what was before the internet, I actually had a newspaper. I'd read the sports page before I went to school in the morning. Jeff Gordon and Bernie Miklaz, and there were a lot of guys I would read, and I don't know, that's all gone now. It's all gone. So, anyway, I struggle with some live streams are not as good as others, and I don't understand. I'm the same person every day. Why do some work and some don't? Well, probably material. If I had better material, I could work better off of it. Like today, we're going to do paint colors. Now, hard to do exciting paint color talk. Maybe I'll make it as good as it can be. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share stuff with you that I'm seeing and that I'm dealing with. Interesting. As I get more involved, like I said, since July, as I get more involved in this, I see pathways to difficulty. And what I mean by that is, if I want my space as a real estate agent / real estate broker, of a small independent brokerage in South St. Louis, Missouri. This is the space that I want. Okay. And if I'm not careful, I end up going into this like agent guru route where like I'm teaching agents all this stuff and I'm spouting off all this information to agents and telling them to go and be great real estate agents for the day. And I don't want to do that. I love real estate agents. I know how hard the job is. I know how few of you out there are that are good for their clients and good for their themselves. Then that leads me to want to be part of a greater audience of those people that enjoy real estate, like looking at listings, but not agents. That needs to be my main group, but that hasn't shown to be a huge group on YouTube. So I don't want to go the agent route. I don't want to be the muse. I don't want to be the I don't know, there's the word that I'm looking for, like the preacher, but it's not evangelist. I don't want to be the evangelist for real estate agents across the United States. Like I see people do it and it kind of makes me sick. So where does my sponsorship come from? Well, John, you've got 54 subscribers. You're not getting any sponsorship. You had less than 10 views on your last video. What do you, well, that's just it. If you do manage to line yourself up with certain groups, they bring an audience. If I can say I'm an industry insider, that brings with it a certain cachet. But I don't want that. I mean, how much closer to an industry insider could I be? I mean, I'm doing it every day. I'm doing the real estate business every day. I don't need some sort of national credit for an industry insider. An industry insider would be somebody that's like sitting in the franchise offices, plotting their next move. That's not who I am. That's not what I want to do. That's not the world as I would like it to be. So I'm a little frustrated. There's a story I want to bring to you, but it's complicated. And the sources and the ability to pull from those sources is limited. I think something has been done that was wrong by a media company. And then the people that fixed it went to the same media company to try and change it. And then they put it all behind a paywall, so you can't do anything about it. So I'm a little frustrated that I can't talk about something that I think is interesting and valid. But that's the way it is. So, things I need to get better with. One, I need to engage with the chat more. Now, that would mean I need people in the chat. Two, I need to get more people in the chat so that I can engage with them. I need to check the chat more often, and that's about it. I need to, obviously, obviously I'll work to get better. And thank you for watching, especially the people that do watch at night. Man, you don't know how good it makes me feel that somebody is watching a video of mine at 2:00 in the morning. I mean, what am I, 40? I'm 44. In my 20s, I would come home and, you're nocturnal at that point in time. And I watched all kinds of things at 2:00 in the morning. I don't know if it made me a better person, more rounded maybe. Watched a lot of cable and like Tim and Eric, big show. Good job. I don't. Adult Swim, you had Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That stuff's all gone, I think. But yeah. So, are you ready to get into the show today? Who knows how it's going to go? But the first article, we did Google Trends. First article, here we go. says the Earth's core is cooling faster than previously thought, researchers say. Now, this is what they're saying. I don't know. The planet's core has been cooling for billions of years, but perhaps more rapidly than expected, which would expedite the end of life on Earth, though not for quite a while. Now, the core has been cooling for billions of years, but perhaps more rapidly than expected. And so I'm not a math major, but it seems like if in the model, okay, if your inputs are incorrect, even by a degree, over a calculation that spans billions, it could really, really throw the numbers off. And it says right here, the Earth's interior has been gradually cooling for the entirety of its 4.5 billion year existence. So this isn't anything new. I guess this is pretty much known. One time when I was a kid, I tried to dig to China. If I dug all the way through, I would get to China. And I didn't make it. I could not have done worse. I think I got about 3 feet, and I got tired and I quit. So the concern was I was going to get to the core, and it was going to be, that magma or whatever. It's in volcanoes. I was going to burn before I got to China, but thankfully my 10-year-old arms and legs didn't give me the ability to dig all the way through the Earth to the other side, which is China. And you know what? I don't even know if it is. It could be water directly on the other side of St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know. But I think that's funny. All right, so it says Earth's core is cooling at rates faster than previously thought, which could speed the planet's inevitable march towards uninhabitability, millions or billions of years from now. Okay, so let's work through this. This is a real question. My understanding was the sun shines, on the Earth, and that keeps it warm enough so that we can live here and plants can grow and stuff. That was my understanding. And that when the sun goes out, we're all going to die. This is my understanding. I don't know if it's true. Now, if the Earth cools before the sun goes out, I guess we're going to die that way. But if it's not, then what do we care? I mean, relatively. If the sun's going to be around longer than if the Earth is going to cool before the sun, goes out, and that's going to cause problems, I just need to know when, like set my calendar type thing. Now you say, John, you're not even going to make it 100 years. Well, that's not very nice. I would just say that's not very nice. It says, Earth's interior has been generally cooling for the entirety of its 4.5 billion year existence, a generally helpful pattern as the planet evolved into its current green paradise, where humans have thrived for the past 200,000 or so years. A generally helpful pattern. It's good that the Earth is cooling. The Earth is cooling. Now, this has got nothing to do with climate change. I don't think, but maybe it does. Does anybody argue yet that what we do on Earth is causing the Earth to cool down faster or heat up? That wouldn't be climate change. That'd be Earth core change. I don't know. The perspective raises the question as to how fast the Earth has been losing heat, which directly links to the fundamental question on how long the Earth will remain dynamically active. Like, I guess that's got to do with IP addresses, static and dynamic. That was sarcasm. Maybe a dad joke. But just how quickly this process has been happening is the subject of ongoing research. Oh, well, this to me, I mean, there's people trained that study this stuff. And when it says the subject of ongoing research, I suspect that it will be ongoing as long as the planet will be cooling. So what's the reason not to study it? Like forever. A group of scientists studied brickmanite, a common conductive material that is found between the Earth's core and mantle. Okay. They found that it's 1.5 times more conductive than previously believed, meaning Earth's cooling process might also be faster than previously thought. It's more conductive, meaning Earth's cooling process might be faster than previously thought. We found the bulk thermal conductivity at core mantle boundary becomes 1.5 times higher than the conventionally assumed value, which supports higher heat flow from core, hence more vigorous mantle convection than expected, researchers added. Oh. We found the bulk thermal conductivity at core mantle boundary becomes 1.5 times higher than the conventionally assumed value, which supports higher heat flow from core, hence more vigorous mantle convection than expected. That didn't do a whole lot for me. Like, we need to dumb it down a little bit. Results suggest the mantle is more efficiently cooled, which could ultimately weaken many tectonic activities driven by the mantle convection more rapidly than expected from conventionally believed thermal conduction behavior. Yeah. Okay. Results more efficiently, ultimately. Okay. When the planet goes cold, it'll lose its magnetic field. Okay, so that's the problem, which shields the Earth from harmful cosmic radiation. At that point, Earth would become a sterile uninhabitable rock. When the planet goes cold, it'll lose its magnetic field, which shields the Earth from harmful cosmic radiation. Remember the ozone layer? Does that still do we have a hole in it still? I'm just asking. I don't know. I haven't. It used to be they'd have these graphics on NBC News in like the 1980s. Oh my God, there's a hole and it's up by Antarctica. Are we still doing that? Like they had to change all the accelerants in spray cans. Spray cans were bad. Are we still doing? I don't know. And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I really don't know. I haven't heard anything about. Here's the things I haven't heard about in a decade. Acid rain. Do we still have acid rain? Do we still have the ozone layer problem? If so, like how? Well, we were talking about Earth cooling here too fast. The researchers didn't hazard a guess as to how many more years life on Earth could exist. Well, I mean, that takes into quite a few different variables. I don't think that's like obvious. A 2013 projection by Andrew Rushby of the University of East Anglia in the United Kingdom. I suspect that's a good institution. Pegged the Earth's viability for life to be good for another 1.75 to 3.25 billion years, assuming there's no nuclear holocaust, rogue asteroid, or other unforeseen disaster. Well, that's kind of hedging your bet. The other unforeseen disaster. I mean, it's unforeseen. I like to think that, like, they talk about nuclear holocaust. Like, while in some ways I think we're devolving as a species, there are other spaces where we're just doing wonderfully. And so I believe that weapons manufacturing wise, we'll have something that's at least able to be more killing ability than nuclear holocaust. I think we could wipe the planet out much faster someday sooner. I hope that didn't sound political. That wasn't my. So, I got up this morning and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really excited about the day. I've got some things going on that's kind of stressful. But I really wasn't worried about the earth cooling too fast. Like, my top 10 concerns, the earth cooling too fast, causing the magnetic shield to go away in how many? Let me see here. In 1.75 to 3.25 billion years, wasn't on the top of my list. Wasn't even the top 10. Probably not in the top 1,000. Is there a proposal? Sometimes in business, you say to somebody, "Don't just bring me your problems, bring me your solutions." Good management. That's my MBA talking right there. Okay, so we got a problem here. What is our solution? Is there no solution? I don't know. Stop putting plastic in landfills. Will that solve the problem? Okay. Well, I'm done with that. Mesa, Arizona. Oh, I foreshadowed there. Okay. There's 3. One brokered by eXp Realty, one by Remax Alliance Group, and one by West USA Realty Scottsdale. Now, is Mesa and Scottsdale the same place? I don't know. Let me look. I've never been to Mesa. Let me see. And the people of Mesa may be upset with me right now. I'm sorry. I'm from the Midwest, and I've been out to the West. I call this West. Mesa, Arizona. Okay. What are we doing here? Okay. There's a Sam's Club. There's a Costco. There's a Lowe's. Arizona Speedway. It's just east of Phoenix. Okay. No, I don't care about COVID. There's Phoenix, and here's Mesa. There's Scottsdale, Tempe. Okay, so it's in that large space. Okay, that's helpful. So what we got here is we got 3 houses, none of which are being listed by the same group. And actually, West USA Realty has two good ones, 2 listings, but they're about the best. So let's look at this house first. I'm going to do it in a different window. We've got 56 pictures on a $5 million house, 7 bedrooms, 10 baths, 14,000 square feet, 9-car garage. I like the 9-car garage. Let's look at the property history. Sold in 2010. Sold in 2010 for $1.6 million. Went to market in 2021 for $5.8 million. Massive price drop to $4.999 million. 15 days on the market. 15 days on the market? Yeah. Okay. What do we got? Not the good second picture, and it looks like there we go. These are the pictures we need. When we get into the house, okay, there's the entrance. Must not be very nice there. I don't know, can't see it. I got nothing. Okay. Okay, what am I seeing here? What is that? Cool ceiling. Is that a vending machine? There's the kitchen. I thought I was seeing the kitchen. I thought I was seeing an angle going this way. A cooktop with no hood. Oh, that's the bathroom. Remember when we saw Fox? Now this time it's this. Do you think there's really popcorn there? I guess that's an office. I guess that's a bedroom. Kind of odd glass. I've never really seen that before. I guess that's a bathroom. I say that because there's a bathtub. Laundry room. Oh, there's a slide. Wow. Didn't see that coming. Did you? I don't even know what this little space is. That's a shower. This is closets, but I guess the people have moved. Nice pool. Nice, like, what do we call that? A cabana? I've always wanted one of these in my backyard, and my wife is good with it too. It's number one, I don't know if I can get the zoning for it, and number two, I don't know how much it would cost. But I think that looks cool. I think an outdoor space, especially in St. Louis where it gets really, really hot, you should have one of these outside so people can sit underneath it and you can enjoy yourself. But what do I know? I mean, that looks cool, right? Reminds me of the Meet Joe Black. You remember that movie? Brad Pitt. Oh, look at that. It's got a little fountain across there. Okay. I mean, nice house. 5 million. I don't remember the square footage. What do we got? 14,000 square feet on a 1 acre lot. Okay. The next house available is 3.5 million, 6 bedrooms, 8 baths, 9,400 square feet on about an acre lot. Let's look at that one and just see the comparison. 110 days on the market, a 5-car garage. So you're losing 4 cars. I'd like to look at the property history. Listed for rent, $7,500 a month. I mean, that is a bargain. Sold in 2005. Looks like it was listed in 2008. It looks like it hasn't been able to be sold since then. 89 pictures. That's 39 pictures too many for me. That picture doesn't do anything for me. That doesn't do anything for me. Now we're inside. There's the kitchen. See, there's nobody in there. It's empty. I like the use of the drone photo. I would have liked to seen it full, but I don't blame the realtor in this case because it's possible that the picture got cut off because of the resolution that Realtor.com requires. It's got a little sign there. That's interesting. I like this. This was a good picture. This is the picture that I've always thought one should have. You walk. You want to see what is it when I walk in the house through the front door. The kitchen is nice. You know, I like it being empty because you can put your own things there. I don't think these couches are real, but I can't prove it. I don't think that the television is real. In our MLS, you have to say something's virtually staged. That's not the case across the United States. So, interesting, like kind of 2 islands. I also want an island in our kitchen, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. What do you think about like when you double the picture? So you show the picture twice. See, that's got to be virtually staged. There's no way they have a popcorn machine like that. And especially, this is my understanding is this is in St. Louis, you have to do the picture as it is and then with stuff in it. See, virtual staging. Not criticizing this. I would virtually stage this place too. Because it's so big and it's got so many empty spaces. See? Nothing. And then you got something. The room doesn't make a lot of sense. You got a 10. Oh, this is off the bedroom? Okay. So what are we going to have next? Yay! This is good virtual staging to me. You're not going to get me to say anything negative about it. Just want to check my chat just to make sure nobody's coming at me. Hey, you guys, like tonight, put in the comment section, what is this? I mean, it's a sauna, but why is there a wooden spoon with a bucket? What's that about? There you go. There's a closet. Picture 50. I'm done. All right. So between those two houses, this house is quite a bit bigger. This house is $1.5 million less. Finally, 2.9 million, 7 bedrooms, 10 baths, 9,600 square feet on a 2.5 acre lot. So the largest lot, the second largest house. First picture of it is of a pool. 20 car garage. Now that's about the best garage I've seen. Listed in 2020 and 3.9 million, and now we're down to 2.9. So I mean, bargain all around. The description is small. The ultimate multi-generational home situated on 2.5 acres with no HOA and unobscured city and mountain views. This elegant family compound features 7 bedrooms and 11 bathrooms and 3 full kitchens built with the greatest materials available and R55 energy efficiency rating. That's impressive. I don't know. Like that wouldn't have, like, I don't know about that. Because it's hot there, not a complaint. My thinking is it's hot there. Maybe it gets cold I don't know. Anyway, enjoy the main level featuring 2 master suites, gourmet kitchen, and an elegant formal dining room and executive office. Now, as an agent, I'm liking this description because it's giving me things to look for in the pictures. See how it clues me in? Now, I don't know if that's how everybody likes to do things, but it's like how I like it. A 3-stop elevator takes you to the second level for additional bedrooms or down in the amazing basement with a full kitchen. Additional bedroom and large family room ideal for entertaining and has its own exit. No expense has been spared with this property. The possibilities are endless, including horses, motorized ATVs, and hiking and biking the beautiful desert trails, plus 20 minutes to the Phoenix airport. Well, I mean, with that description, I'm pretty excited. It's been on the market for 536 days. The first pictures of the pool and not the front of the house. But here it is. Now, here's what's happened. Not complaining. But somewhere between the MLS and Realtor.com, the pictures got messed up. So these pictures are terrible. So, I mean, I'm not enjoying this at all. They're all blurry. I like the way that we're in the 4th picture, and at least we're starting to see the front door. There's the front door again, the foyer. There's the kitchen. But I think what's really being hurt now is the pictures are looking terrible on Realtor.com. And I'm not going anywhere else because I like Realtor.com. That's nice. That's not very nice. I think, like, okay. This isn't gonna work. See, it's not. So I quit. Now, should the agent be concerned that Realtor.com has terrible pictures? I don't know. It depends on how the pictures look in their own MLS. All right. Well, it's time to go to articles. Here we go. Layoffs and acquisitions on the horizon for Redfin. So Redfin's its own like brokerage. And I use a lot of their information for they've got a very good research department and they use it for marketing like they should. And so yeah. Redfin is reshaping its mortgage business. Now see, that's different than the headline. The Seattle-based company announced on January 11th that it has agreed to acquire Bay Equity Home Loans, a national full-service mortgage lender, in cash and stock transaction for $135 million. According to a press release and public filing, the deal, which is expected to close in the second quarter of 2022, will help increase Redfin's financing capabilities nationally. For years, Redfin has talked about becoming a one-stop shop for brokerage, mortgage, iBuying, and title services. Just having one company offer all these services is more efficient, letting us keep customers and lending fees low. Now, this has been true since the 80s. Real estate brokerages have wanted to be a one-stop shop. Let's just take an example. When you go to a real estate office, okay, it could be a lender is paying rent to be in that office with the real estate company. Why is that? Because the lender is trying to get real estate listings or real estate mortgages from the real estate agents being in that office. It's not unusual. It's not strange. This is not something that is weird. What is strange to me is that it's 2022 and people are still trying to become the one-stop shop for brokerage, mortgage, iBuying, and title services. Now, what I have found is that my buyers and my sellers don't care if there's a one-stop shop. In fact, they feel almost like there's something wrong, that there's something that's going to get them. They feel like if they're going to get hosed by the broker, then they might get hosed by the mortgage company. Or if they don't get hosed by the broker, they do get hosed by the mortgage company or the title company. And they feel like if they just go in, diverse offerings, they have a better chance of not getting hosed. This is exactly opposite of what real estate broker mentality is, where the whole idea is to keep everything under one roof. I once actually went, it's so strange because in St. Louis, I used to close at a title company that was inside a nationally franchised brokerage. And I was like, why am I giving these people free advertising? Well, by the time I'm at the closing table, no one cares. No one cares. And that's sad. Sort of. So anyway, let Redfin go and spend this money. Let Redfin go and create the ultimate brokerage that has every single thing under one-stop shopping. And let them do that. There's no I'm not scared. I'll be okay. It said Redfin also indicated that it's laying off 121 employees in its mortgage business in preparation for the acquisition. So that's a questionable thought. You had a mortgage company and then it wasn't good enough, so you bought another one. Why couldn't you just? Why couldn't you just made yours good? For employees who are out of a job, Redfin said there would be reemployment opportunities within other arms of the company, or 12 weeks and 26 weeks of severance, depending on tenure. There are no plans to reduce the Bay Equity staff. Redfin said that Bay Equity's footprint makes it more efficient at producing and selling loans to investors. The company hopes to increase profits while maintaining lower rates by absorbing the Court Madera-based lender. So it says while maintaining lower rates, they had a mortgage company. It didn't work out. With Bay Aries, is it possible that somebody didn't trust Redfin Mortgage? Is the brand Redfin Mortgage? They would prefer a different name? Bay Equity? Sort of like, we're going to read another article at some point. Like Showing Time is owned by Zillow, but they're not going to call it Zillow Showing Time. They're going to call it Showing Time and leave it alone, I think, if they were smart. With Bay Equity's geographic presence and full product suite, we'll be able to offer mortgages to a larger share of Redfin's home buying customers right away. including jumbo loans and loans for veterans and folks with lower rate scores, said Adam Weiner, Redfin's president of real estate operations. Well, so you're telling me that your mortgage company couldn't offer jumbo loans, loans for veterans, and folks with lower credit scores? Bay Equity is a licensed mortgage lender in 42 states. Now, I mean, the license thing is like, is Redfin not a licensed mortgage lender? And employs approximately 1,200 people, making it nearly 10 times the size of Redfin's mortgage business. Huh. According to Redfin, the merger will help its lending arm match its brokerage, which employs roughly 2,400 agents. This is a formidable combination, adding that the merger will position the lending company to thrive in a changing mortgage market. In addition to our established book of business, we will benefit from the customers generated by Redfin's more than $25 billion in real estate transactions each year. After the deal closes, the Bay Equity management team will continue to operate under the Bay Equity name. Some Redfin mortgage employees will move to Bay Equity, including Redfin's loan officers. So who are these people fired? 121. Were they not loan officers? So anyway, I'm not coming at Redfin. They're kind of an odd company in the landscape. 10-year challenge, homebuyer edition, Realtor.com. Oh no, sorry, National Association of Realtors. It's a currently popular 10-year challenge. I saw the 10-year challenge. I know I'm a little bit late. It's the 16th, and that was 9 days ago. But you know what? I had other things to talk about. I'm sorry. The average price of homes purchased in 2011 was $169. The average homes purchased in quarter 3 of 2021 is $363. Positive equity gains of $225,000 for homeowners over that time period. Again, that was coming out of one of the most terrible housing crises we've ever had. Interest rates for a 30-year fixed in 2021 is 3.1. Rate in 2011 was 4.45. I don't know that lower interest rates, okay, by themselves makes it good. I mean, that means the economy is struggling. That's why we have low interest rates. But anyway, I don't know, I hate to do that. Okay. In 2021, the first-time homebuyer tax credit had expired, or 2011, I'm sorry, and the share of first-time homebuyers dropped from 50% to 37%. In 2021, with low inventory, rising prices, high rents, and student debt, the share is just 34%. See, fewer first-time homebuyers. That's not a good thing. The typical age of a first-time homebuyer in 2011 was 31. In 2021, the average age of a first-time homebuyer is 33. That's not good. That's not helpful for home affordability. In 2011, following the Great Recession, many were on the lookout for a job change. Among homebuyers, 10% of buyers moved to the job relocation. Today, many are willingly changing careers, but with remote and hybrid work patterns, only 5% of recent buyers moved to a job relocation. 2011, 77% of buyers purchased a detached single-family home. In 2021, that share has grown to 82%. Buyers are seeking more square footage for remote work, homeschooling, larger kitchens, and private yards, which a detached home provides. The majority of buyers are purchasing in suburban areas, which is more likely to have detached single-family homes instead of condos and townhomes. The home search process for buyers starts online. In 2011, 88% of buyers used the internet in their search process. In 2021, 95% used the internet in their search process. In just one decade, buyers have increased the online tools they use, adding virtual and video tours, interactive floor plans, and interactive maps of neighborhoods. So this was a cute article, okay? 10-year challenge, and they did it for real estate. That's nice. Good for them. Last article. Got to get rid of the map of. Oh, that's for tomorrow. Here we go. This I thought was interesting. This is from Reuters. U.S. consumer price posts biggest rise in nearly 40 years, inflation close to peaking. This is the part that caught my eye. I have not read the article. I don't know what's in it. So we will learn together. U.S. consumer price increases, this was on January 12th, increased solidly in December as rental accommodation and used cars maintained their strong gains, culminating in the largest annual rise in inflation in nearly 4 decades, which bolstered expectations the Federal Reserve will start raising interest rates as early as March. The report from the Labor Department on Wednesday followed on the heels of data last Friday showing the labor market was at or near maximum employment. Fed Chair Jerome Powell on Tuesday said that the U.S. central bank stood ready to do what it was necessary to help keep high inflation from becoming entrenched in his testimony. Now, this was the same fellow that said that the inflation was it was temporary. So I have no interest in these people. The high cost of living, the result of snarled supply chains because of the pandemic, is a political nightmare for Joe Biden, whose approval rating has taken a hit. I don't. What difference does it make? He's going to be there for at least 4 years. Deal with it. I don't care about the poll numbers. The Fed is going to be forced to begin raising rates in March, depending on the political pressure on them. They're going to have to raise rents 4 or more times this year, and potentially more than next year. The consumer price index rose 5.5% last month after advancing 0.8 in November. In addition to higher rents, consumers also paid more for food. So the 0.5 increase in food prices was less than the prior 3 months. Oh, well, that's great. There were big gains in the prices of fruits and vegetables. Beef prices fell 2.0% after recent sharp gains. Well, that's because no one can afford it, so you can't buy it. Consumers also got a respite from gasoline prices, which fell 0.5% after. Now, this is not in the core PPA or the CPI. It's not in. They don't do fuel and they don't do food. Consumer also got a respite from gasoline prices, which fell 0.5 after rising 6.1% in both November. So it rose 12.2%, but dropped 0.5%, and that's a victory. In the 12 months through December, the CPI surged 7%, the biggest year-on-year increase since 1982, and followed a 6.8% rise in November. Last month's inflation readings were in line with expectations. Rising inflation is also eroding wage gains. Inflation-adjusted average weekly earnings fell 2.3% on a year-to-year basis in December. President Biden said virtually every nation, I don't care about every other nation. Don't care. Care about the United States. America first. This report underscores that we still have more work to do, with price increases still too high and squeezing family budgets. Inflation well above the Fed's flexible 2% target. It's also being lifted. And that's the other thing. If the Fed's 2% target is real, then why aren't they raising rates immediately? Makes you wonder. Is also being lifted by budding wage pressures as the labor market tightens. The unemployment rate fell to a 22-month low of 3.9% in December. That's full employment. Markets have priced in about 80% change of rate tax hike in March. Economists say the broad measure of inflation appears to have caught Fed officials off guard. You can't catch these people off guard. They're experts. You would never, ever do that. They would know everything. That's why they're experts. That's why they're being paid. They're being paid not to be caught off guard. There are concerns that inflation expectations could become entrenched and compel the Fed to aggressively tighten monetary policy, potentially causing a recession. These people can't even figure out that there was inflation, and now they're going to fix it, and it could cause a recession. Yes, these are the same people. This is the first time the Fed has chased instead of trying to preempt a non-existent inflation since the 1980s. Brace yourselves. Stocks on Wall Street were trading higher. I don't care. That's 12 days ago. Still, like, that's the issue. Like, maybe I missed it, but it says economists believe the year-on-year CPI rate probably increased in December or will likely do so by March. But soaring COVID cases, yada, yada, yada. Energy excluded, there we go. Excluding the volatile food and energy components, the CPI increased 0.6% after rising 0.5%. So my thing is even as it's rising, if it's not rising at the same pace, that's still a problem. It's still a problem. So this idea that it peaked, not good. So-called core CPI was boosted by rents. This is housing related. With owner's equivalent rent of primary residence, which is what a home buyer would receive from renting a home, rising a solid 0.4 for the third straight month. So look, if I've got to pay more to buy a house, you're going to have to pay more to rent a house. Okay? That's it. Prices for used cars accelerated 3.5 after increasing 2.5 in each the prior 2 months. We're looking for a used car, can't buy one, can't afford it. The surge likely reflects Hurricane Ida in late August and September, which destroyed thousands of motor vehicles among other property. No, it's the chip shortage, and they're not producing many cars. That's what's killing us. And I would venture to say, if you looked at Carvana and these new models where you just own a ton of cars and Wall Street's behind it, I suspect that's got something to do with the rising prices as well for used cars. New motor vehicle prices rose 1%, making the 9th consecutive month of gains. And that's not a good thing. A global semiconductor shortage has undercut motor vehicle production. Yes. Prices for furniture, bedding, and housekeeping supplies increased. Apparel prices jumped 1.7%, the largest increase since January 2021. Cost of health care rose 0.3%. I pay $450 per month for health care. When I started on the program before Obamacare, I paid less than $200. Now, that was admittedly 10 years ago, but it's not keeping up with, it's at least keeping up with the price of inflation, or the cost of inflation, possibly even more. It says, still, inflation is likely to remain above target this year. Inflation will slow as supply chains reopen and prices for some items like vehicles and energy decline as supply catches up to demand. Okay, good luck. But inflation for many other goods and services will be higher in 2022 than before the pandemic due to higher labor costs and input prices. Housing will also contribute to high inflation in 2022. I don't think this is a rosy, wonderful situation we're in. I really don't. I mean, if the Fed can get caught off guard by inflation, how are they going to fix inflation? And causing what was it? Causing a recession to fix inflation is like not great. Not what I would want. I want to wrap it up right there. That's the last article I'm going to do today. Go back here. Bam. What do you think? What do you think about inflation? Do you care? I'm worried. I'm scared to death about inflation. It's where I see absolute government breakdown and failure. When you have inflation, it's 100% based on government failure. I get scared to death about hyperinflation. I get scared to death about countries going off the dollar as their reserve currency. I mean, really, really, really scary stuff. But, you know, my job is, you know, I get paid when people buy and sell homes. I don't get paid just to go to work. Like today, I'm not buying or selling anybody. And there's nobody going to buy or sell a home today. I'm not making $1. So that's what I worry about. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I'm going to maybe do a podcast. I don't know. I thought yesterday's was good. I don't know. I know you're going to watch on the replay, so leave me a comment. If you look at a live stream from 2 months ago and say, hey, you know, I have a question, put it in the comment section. Put it in the comment section. I will respond. Unless it's like you're a jerk. And then okay. I mean, oh. But, you know, thanks for watching these. It's the live stream's not going like I thought it would in some ways. My biggest fear was not having enough content. We have plenty of content. We can do this forever. I do have to check some other things. But anyway, that's all I have. You have a good afternoon. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for watching late at night, 2 in the morning.